All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Taj Singh. He's the CEO of First Nordic Metals. And Taj, it's good to have you along. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having us today, Steve.
Yeah, super excited to learn a bit more about the company. I know you've had some significant news recently about your project in northern Sweden. We'll talk about that and other things as well. But just maybe give me a bit of an overview of the company.
Yeah, so First Nordic Metals is relatively a new company. It kind of formed from the merger of Barsele Minerals and Goldline Resources, which are both kind of focused in Scandinavia. The closing happened in March 2024, so it's a fresh new company that's put together a very serious land package in Scandinavia, focused on Scandinavia. We have one major gold belt where we own 100 kilometers of strike, and right in the middle of it, we've got our 2.4 million ounce Barsele Gold Project, which is a joint venture with Agnico. And then we own the rest of that belt where we think we'll hopefully find multiple other gold deposits to basically create what we believe is Europe's next gold belt. And then in Finland, we've got the Oijärvi Greenstone Belt project, which has a maiden resource on it of a little over 300,000 ounces of gold, very high grade. We hopefully believe as we work on that, we can grow that as well. So we really are believe in Europe, in Northern Europe, and we think we've got two potential belts here in Europe.
Really, you don't hear a lot about Finland and Sweden. You don't hear a lot about them, but they really are rich in mining. They have a pretty decent track record of history in mining there.
Completely. Sweden and Finland, I think they're 1-2 in terms of
Yeah.
mining in Europe, both in terms of output, in terms of the pro mining views. Even mining costs are unbelievable. Taxes, like there's a lot of favorable things that I think over here in North America we don't know a lot about. But yeah, like since the Middle Ages, it's been one of the Sweden has been a huge metals producer, and right now government's come in a few years ago that's become very pro mining. And really, in terms of exploration, I think it's super underexplored. The geology's there. We all know it, very fertile ground, but it's probably 70, 80 years behind kind of, for example, Northern Canada,
Hmm.
because kind of it only opened up to foreign investment in kind of late 90s, early 2000s on joining the EU. So I think it's a huge, huge opportunity here to really start finding some big new discoveries that just haven't been found yet.
Yeah, I mentioned you had some pretty significant news out recently. That was on Paulbacken. Tell me a bit about this one and really the substantial news that you had out.
Yeah, the real interesting thing about Powbacken is it's 100% owned, but it's about 20, 30 kilometers from our joint venture project with Agnico, which is the Barsele project. It has 2.4 million ounces of gold. As I said,
Hmm.
the early days kind of characteristics of the Powbacken project, the bot drilling, the geophysics, the geochemistry, all the work we're doing and have done already, it's very similar to what they saw in the early days discoveries of Barsele. So kind of the thesis is there's another Barsele here, whether it's bigger. I mean, even Barsele itself, I think will grow much more than it is, but there's a potential multi-million ounce deposit here, 20 kilometers or so away, that we think just needs to be discovered. It needs to be worked on.
Yeah, and that's going to happen this summer. I know that there's a work plan that's going to be happening. Are you planning on doing a lot of work at all of the projects? Are you going to focus on one this year and one next year? How's the sort of the exploration working?
I think our big focus right now is Sweden. The
Hmm.
Finland project is kind of a little bit parked, but it's already got a resource on it. We will work on it in the
Sure.
coming months. But our immediate focus right now, the kind of lowest hanging fruit, is to go and advance the Swedish projects. So Powbacken is one of them, and then prior to that, a week before, we had the Stora Juktan project, which is, guess what, 20 kilometers north of Barsele. And it's a little earlier stage than Powbacken in terms of the work that's been done on it, but again, very similar. So you start putting together a picture of a belt with deposits that are 10, 20 kilometers apart, each having multi-million ounce kind of resources. It's something pretty serious. It could eventually become Europe's kind of largest gold belt package in terms of resources if everything pans out.
Yeah, so sounds like it's going to be busy and a lot of news over the next couple of months.
Correct. Yeah, we have a summer program outlined where we're going to build up these projects for sure. Stora Juktan, get it towards kind of drilling in maybe in kind of early 25, but Powbacken is the one that's ready for diamond drilling, a second phase of diamond drilling, and so we'll get that ready through the summer, and probably by the fall, kind of late 24 is when we look to really put a serious program into Powbacken, and we've already had the discovery there. We think we can expand upon it and really start. Uh, putting into sight for everyone what could be there.
Very exciting times for sure. Tej, thanks so much. Great to see you, and congratulations on the success so far. And we look forward to continuing to follow the story. Okay.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thanks for having us.
All right. Good stuff. Tej Singh, the CEO of First Nordic Metals.